I was 26 when this happened, and it was my first time ever going to Coachella. My friend Alyssa and I had been talking about going for years, but something always got in the way. Either money became an issue, or one of us couldn't get time off work. That year, everything finally aligned, so we committed to it for real. We flew out to California, rented a small 2-bedroom Airbnb, and turned it into a full trip. We were both incredibly excited because neither of us had ever experienced a festival on that scale before. We had been to smaller concerts and local events, but nothing even close to that level. The first day honestly felt surreal. Everywhere you looked, there were massive crowds, wild outfits, music blasting from all directions, and people acting like they had completely escaped reality. It felt like stepping into another world. The first 2 days went perfectly. Nothing went wrong. We saw artists we loved, took pictures everywhere, spent too much money on food, and stayed out late every night. By the third day, we were completely drained, but it was the kind of exhaustion where you push through because it's the final day and you don't want to miss anything. Before the trip, Alyssa had suggested bringing Molly. I had only tried it once before years ago, and it had been fine, so I agreed. We decided to save it for the last day, and that's exactly what we did. Looking back now, I wish I had never taken it. At first, nothing happened. Then suddenly, it hit hard. Everything became brighter, louder, more intense. The music felt incredible. I felt lighter, more social, almost euphoric. But after some time, something started to feel wrong. I kept noticing the same man. At first, I ignored it. But then I saw him again, and again, and again. It wasn't coincidence. It felt like he was always there, watching. He looked older than most people, around 35, dark hair, rough facial hair, wearing a black shirt and boots. He stood out in a crowd full of bright colors. Eventually, he approached me. He smiled, tried to dance near me, started talking, flirting. I stayed polite, told him I was with my friend, but he didn't leave. And then, suddenly, Alyssa was gone. I panicked instantly. The man offered to help find her, too quickly, too eagerly. I didn't trust him. I walked away. Everything started feeling worse. My vision distorted. Lights stretched. The ground felt unstable. I knew something was wrong. I kept calling Alyssa until finally she picked up. She found me after what felt like forever. We left immediately. Back at the Airbnb, I was completely exhausted. I collapsed into bed, barely conscious. At some point, I woke up, and I saw him, standing in the doorway, completely still, watching me. It was the same man. I screamed. Alyssa rushed in, turned on the lights, and no one was there. I tried to convince myself it was just the drugs. But the next morning, we saw muddy boot prints. They came from the front door, down the hallway, and stopped at my bedroom, exactly where he had been standing. Then they turned and went back out. That was the moment everything changed. Someone had been inside the house, and it wasn't my imagination. We packed immediately and left. Even now, I still check the doorway before I sleep. That summer, my girlfriend Valentina invited me to visit her family in San Diego. Her parents insisted I go since I had nothing else planned. When I arrived, she picked me up with her dad. They took me to their beach house, a beautiful villa right by the ocean. My room was downstairs, separated from everyone else. It had a clear view of the beach and the side stairs leading to the front door. Everything felt normal at first. Later, we went to the beach to take pictures. That's when I noticed something strange. In every single photo, there was a man in the background, watching, sometimes looking at Valentina, sometimes at me. When I looked up to find him, he was gone. That uneasy feeling stayed with me. That night at a bonfire, I saw him again. A dark figure standing at a distance, staring directly at me. I pretended not to notice, but I knew something wasn't right. Later, back at the house, I didn't feel safe sleeping alone, so I stayed in Valentina's room. The next day, I felt sick and stayed inside. That night, I woke up suddenly. I heard tapping. Then I saw him at my window, waving. He ran up the stairs. I heard the front door open. Panic hit instantly. I blocked my door. He tried the handle, pushing, forcing, but couldn't get in. I called the police. By the time they arrived, he was gone. But he left something behind. A hidden camera and stolen clothes. That's when it became real. This wasn't random. He had been watching us.